It's the final stretch of the NBA season, and we're going to look forward to the playoffs in this new episode of Inside the Green Room. What's good? He's Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford. Yes, we are going to have to discuss some of the playoff likelihoods in the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia's ceiling as a playoff team. We're also going to discuss and look forward to North Carolina versus Duke. Obviously, Danny has a wealth of experience in that. That game is happening on Saturday. Danny's going to take us back to Cameron Indoor Stadium. But first thing we want to do, we want to look ahead to the playoffs because that is about the focus in the world of sports. And it starts with Kevin Durant making his return to the Phoenix Suns, or making his debut rather yet for the Phoenix Suns on Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in Inside the Green Room. Danny Green, Harrison Sanford. Before we end the show, I do want to get Danny to recall a moment from his Duke and UNC rivalry game days. That game taking place on Saturday. Danny, I don't know what's going on with your Tar Heels, but something ain't right this season so far. We're
gonna get right, man.
Right. Yeah. We'll talk about that game happening in just a little bit. First, I do want to talk about some games and some series that we are looking forward to, particularly in the Western Conference, because this week, Kevin Durant comes back playing for the Phoenix Suns. I am excited to watch it, and it should be a fun gathering or fun pairing with him and Devin Booker for any defense to try and stop there in the Western Conference. My first question to you, though, DG, what do you think is the minimum expectation for the Suns there this season?
Ooh, I think the minimum is at least the Western Conference Finals, right? You would think, if they're healthy. Yeah, you would have to at least get through the first and second round with that team that you have. You have four monsters over there. No one say, okay, not four monsters, but you have four really, really good players. You know, three that are still, and CP is still very good, but he's a little older now. Book is still young, top star, 8 and 2 top young stars. KD getting a little bit older, but still, a top player in this game, in this league. So when you got those three and a point guard and Chris Paul who can, set the table for you, you would think that there's no matchup that you can't beat, or at least it may take some time to get some chemistry, out the way. So even without the chemistry, you figure, with the talent you have, you can outscore teams in the first two rounds or so, right? Am I wrong?
That's what you figure. But the Western Conference isn't any any joke. If you look at the seedings right now, it's absolutely crazy.
Ain't no
1
cakewalk.
through 12, ain't no cakewalk anywhere. Nothing is given to you. So I've been on record in saying, as long as you win one playoff round, unless you're the Warriors, it should be seen as a success. Maybe I'll raise the bar for the Suns because they did make the big move for KD, gave up a lot of draft capital, gave up three talented players, and two of them that were in their starting lineup, and Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. So maybe I'll raise the bar for the Suns. Maybe I'll say they'll have to make it to the Western Conference Finals, but I think it's tough top to bottom in the Western Conference, bro.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Even the teams that are at the bottom of the list, said like the Lakers on their way trying to fight back in. You see teams like Portland with Dame putting up 71. With a healthy New Orleans team with Zion when he comes back, they were a top seed before he went down. So those teams are still very good and a threat when healthy, if they get healthy. If you have to see them in the playing games or in the playoffs. So if you're a top seed, you're not safe.
Yeah, and I can't lie to you, Danny. I don't root for any team, but I was disappointed when I saw the news about LeBron being out indefinitely. I think he's going to get reevaluated in 2 weeks with the foot injury, because they finally put together a roster that made sense since the last successful roster they had, that you were on. And so I'm like, oh well, yeah, let's give them a chance and see what happens. First game, D'Angelo Russell goes down. I'm not sure on his injury status. And then more recently, LeBron goes down after they pull off a 27-point comeback in Dallas on Sunday. I'm ruling out I know the Lakers are optimistic about getting that top 6 seed, but at this point, I think they just got to fight for the play-in
for sure,
and hope maybe they can get one home game for the play-in. What do you think is going down in the Lakers lock? What do you think is going through the mind of Anthony Davis right now, who's definitely going to have to shoulder a bigger load if they want to keep in contention?
Well, I think D'Lo is definitely looking like I have to come back a little sooner. I think Anthony Davis is like, I have to carry a lot more of the weight now. So is everybody else. They have Malik Beasley, Vanderbilt playing well for them. Austin Reeves. They have so many good pieces now. I said that makes sense over there. And opportunity for those guys, to shine in places that they didn't have that opportunity in other places anyway, or in a different market where they can show their value. So it's going to be interesting. I still think that they are going to be a good group and still can win some games and fight, even without Bron being out. So I think if they could just keep the ship steady until he comes back and fight for that playing game, I think they'll be pretty safe if they get to the playing game. I think they can win 2 games to make sure that they're in the playoffs.
All right. I do. If long as they can get in the play-in and LeBron is there, I feel pretty confident that they'll have a great chance against any team. Again, the caveat being LeBron and AD being healthy, and that's obviously been a tough thing to get for both for the team so far here in the past 2 years or so. Yeah. With that being said, I mentioned the Western Conference. I would like to know, since you are in the Eastern Conference, you're allowed to you can speak freely about this. Sure. And you are an analyst, so give me your top 3 series that you want to see in the Western Conference. We can go from reverse orders. We can go with number 3, and then we can go to number 1.
So no order particular.
No. You have to. No, we need the order here, my friend.
Okay, so number 3 matchup. The number 3 matchup will probably be Memphis Golden State for me.
Okay,
let's see that rematch. The number 2.
Wait. Can I get an explanation? Why don't you can't just say it and dip?
I think that's self-explanatory, man. People know what's up. The Christmas game, the rivalry, the history that they have with trash talk, and obviously the dislike Golden State has for Memphis and vice versa. The upcoming team, Golden State's still getting healthy. This is, Memphis' time to see if they can actually get over that hump and be, the little brother that finally beats the big brother. You know what I'm saying? That type of situation. I think everybody knows what time it is when it comes to that matchup, that series. It's not really a rivalry yet, but it's a rivalry in terms of trash talk and I guess the dislike for each other.
Well, and let's not forget, remember, Ja took out the Warriors in the play-in 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, I mean, I'm not going that far back. I get it, but we're going
2 years ago, knocked him out in the play-in. Last year, obviously, Warriors got the win. There were some injuries on both sides. Definitely, obviously, Ja didn't finish the playoff series last year. So there's definitely some smoke there. It's a solid number 3.
Oh, for solid sure. Number 3. For sure. All right, number 2. I think I'm going to have to go with, if Lakers are in there, I'm going to go Lakers-Clippers, the series that everybody's been waiting for. If Lakers are not there, I'm going to go with Sacramento Clippers. I think that exciting double overtime game that we had, I know you may think it's a fluke. I think that's a good basketball matchup. I think that's something we will see in a 7-game series with those 2 clubs. You may disagree, but I think Sacramento's been balling, bro. Clippers are very good, but Sacramento's been balling, and I think that they give each other some great let's say for the fans' sake, entertaining basketball, and I think that would be a hell of a series. I think it goes 7.
As somebody who's working in the media, Danny, you'll learn here. As great as that might sound, ain't nobody trying to see that.
Why not?
I'm telling you right now, nobody's trying to see that. Look, respect to the Kings. They've had a great season, the number 3 seed. They're having a great year. But nobody's trying to see that, Danny.
All right, so the Clippers.
I'm
Denver,
telling you right now, Sacramento
Clippers,
Kings is going to be the NBA TV special. No offense, but they're going to be the NBA TV special.
The teams that people want to see, Clippers in Denver. We'll go that route then. Since
number 2, Clippers Denver, for number 2, Clippers Denver.
For number 2.
Not enough smoke there, but okay.
There's more than enough. Bro, you got Jokic MVP candidate, and you got the Clippers really good. Number 1 for me is Phoenix and Dallas.
We need storylines, bro. Phoenix, Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, all right. Go ahead. Give me your reasons.
Bro, am I going
Give me your reasons. Give me your reasons. Go ahead.
KD, Kyrie. You got everybody wants to see Phoenix, first of all. Dallas still Luka, Kyrie. People want to see Kyrie and KD go at each other a little bit. But they want to see the offensive juggernauts, exciting basketball, those two teams. And they've had smoke in the past. If you don't remember.
Yeah, everybody
Luka
talks big. Yeah, everybody
Buck.
talks when they're
up.
Come
on, man. Come on. That's number one. What do you mean?
That's a solid number two. It's a solid number two.
So what's your number one?
All right. So I'm with you. Memphis, Golden State. That's my number 3 playoff series in the Western Conference. I want to see. We need to see that. Adam Silver. Do what you got to do to make it happen. Mm-hmm. Number 2, you got to be. If AD and LeBron are healthy, we need Lakers, Clippers. We just need it.
I said that. But I said if they're not healthy, I had a backup. For
sure. And your backup, Dallas versus Phoenix, I like that for number 2.
That's number 1 for me. Number 2 backup was Clippers, Denver.
Oh, that's the Clippers, Nuggets. There's no smoke there. There's no animosity. There's no storyline.
The bubble, the 3-1 bubble.
No, the Clippers did. Danny,
Clippers lost.
Danny, you know damn well the Clippers didn't care about the bubble. So
no matter if they did or not, they lost. They got their ass 3-1 comeback. They didn't care. They owe Denver some ass whooping. That's what they owe. So people want to see that.
Not enough smoke. Here's okay. So my number 2, my number 2 would have been your number 1, Phoenix and Dallas. That makes all the sense. Luka, saying, they talk tough when they're up, and then I don't know what happened in Phoenix in that Game 7, got washed out. That was terrible. But number 1, bro, best playoff series, the one that we need. I don't know who needs to pull the strings, but this needs to happen. The Golden State Warriors versus Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns.
So I didn't know you could pick the same team twice.
I said any series that you want, bro. Right, that's the best series.
Both of them. I don't know. That'll be a good series, yes, for sure. But if I'm putting Golden State against Memphis, or I wasn't picking Golden State twice and putting them in 3, and it's only 3 series you can pick. You're gonna put them twice in 3 series.
Yes,
they're always an exciting team. They're always exciting team.
I'm not trying to see Golden State Denver. I want to see Golden State take on the Suns. I want to see them play if they play the Suns or the Grizzlies, if not both, this playoffs, I'm a happy man.
All right. Well, those are good picks, man. I just didn't know you can pick the same team twice.
I should have put down the rules and regulations. Speaking of seeing the same team twice, every year, the University of North Carolina men's basketball team takes on Duke. This year, a different flavor. No Coach K. And obviously, Coach Hubert Davis in his second year there for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Obviously, last year, North Carolina made it all the way to the national championship. And if you look at bracketology right now, they're one of the first 4 teams out of the conference, out of the NCAA tournament, which is crazy to think about because they bring back RJ Davis, Caleb Love, Armando Bacot, but has not translated to W's. So Danny, first and foremost, before we get a memory of your Duke North Carolina rivalry games, what is going on in Chapel Hill?
I mean, we act like last year to start the year, we were amazingly great when we weren't to start last year. So we got hot. We started playing basketball well at the right time. So this is around the time where they need to start turning it around, and they can kind of still make it a really good season if they start winning some more games. Last year we started out, obviously we lost Brady. That hurt us a lot, losing Brady Manick. And then, his senior, and then, things just it's different year to year. Teams are targeting you now. We were the young team last year that didn't have any experience. Now we have a little more experience, but still we have a target on our backs. We went to the Final Four, went to the national championship game. They're looking at you, and every team is going to want to beat you. So if you're not disciplined and mature and playing the right type of basketball like you were last year, you're going to get some L's. But this says that it's not too late. This is no different than how it was to start the year last year. It's just that certain teams get hot at the right times, and we did. And hopefully we can do it again this year, but we won't know. We'll see when this upcoming week comes and we have that matchup again against the Dukies.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting to kind of see how they've kind of fallen back this year. You would have thought they'd at least be solidified in the tournament standing, but they're not even that. So going to need a little run here. Beating Duke, obviously, this weekend will help. We'll see what they do. But Danny, before we get out of here, do you have a moment that sticks out to your mind if you have a chance to watch the game Saturday between North Carolina and Duke, which will be at the Dean Dome. What is there a memory that's going to stick out to you was there something that you're going to see, something that you're going to feel? Take me, what's going to flash in your mind when you see this game happen on Saturday?
It's different depending on where the game is. Now, is this at either?
It's in Chapel Hill.
It's in Chapel Hill. So when I look at we have the game in Cameron, it always brings me back because I've been lucky enough to win in Cameron. I haven't lost there. But most of the time it takes me back to two fond memories in Cameron. It was my freshman year when we had spoiled senior night of, the landlord, JJ, all those guys that were really, obviously they were a really great team. But to go in there and, spoil senior night, we spoiled a couple senior nights, was, obviously something that you hold and never forget. But Tyler hitting a big shot, and obviously my junior year having a big game, a couple dunks, some blocks. I was playing 3 and 4 at that time. I was athletic enough, young enough to get up and down the floor, and strong enough to be able to bang with the bigs. They had bigs back then. But at our place, the one that comes to mind is my senior night when my family was there. My dad was incarcerated for some time. My freshman year to my junior year, I wasn't sure if he's going to be able to see me play again in person. And I was lucky enough that he was able to get a pass, but come down to Chapel Hill. My brother was there. I had to do my senior speech. Obviously, we got a win, got a chance to dance in front of the crowd and give our farewell before we went to the tournament. But the memories that come to my mind is us on senior night and us be able to have our seniors start on the court, play a game, win a game, and play in front of my family, who I wasn't sure was all going to be able to be there during that time. So those are some of the fondest memories that bring back to me at, in the Dean Dome when we played against the Dukies my senior year, my final year. And there's also another memory. Of course, we remember.
Go ahead.
When Tyler broke his nose, we was ready to scrap a little bit. And he had a little leakage. Tyler got Gerald Henderson gave him a little elbow. Ironically enough, they do their own podcast. They've done their own podcast since then. Tyler does a podcast now, but they've had their own podcast since then. But back then there was some beef and there was some smoke, as you would say, and that kind of made the rivalry even that much more intense when Tyler caught the elbow and his nose was bleeding a little bit. So that was a memory that I'll never forget. And then of course senior night.
Did you guys call him Psycho T, or was that just media people and fans on campus?
Yeah, we did. So
you would say what's up, Psycho? You would say what's up, Psycho?
Big man, yeah, something like that. Yeah, sometimes I wouldn't say psycho. I mean, I guess yeah. Think about it. I would say big man or big dog. Psycho. I wouldn't say Psycho T, but yeah, Psycho was or T. Yeah. But we would say Psycho. It would be in a different manner. But it came from our strength and conditioning coach. Jonas Serration. Big shout out to him. He came up with the name for a lot of different people. Obviously, some of them can't say on air now. But he called me Charmin. Things like that.
He called you Charmin?
Say how soft, some people mess with you, say you soft. But the name changed throughout the year. My names have changed throughout different times.
Maybe you could, Charmin could also mean just high quality. It's a quality toilet paper.
Three plies, right? So yeah, that's not what he meant when he said it. But that the nicknames changed over years. But yes, we did call him Psycho sometimes. Psycho T, Psych. Yeah, we called him that then. Now we're grown-ups, we're adults. We don't walk up to him and call him Psycho. Mind you can't just
you can't do that nowadays. Different world now. Yeah, for sure. Oh goodness. All right. I think I might see you in Charlotte sooner than later. I think because you're going to Charlotte. I might pop down and see your Cavaliers play. But looking forward to seeing you out there on the court. Looking forward to podcasting with you again. And shout out to everybody in the state of Ohio who has joined now the conglomerate of different teams and states that we're accumulating fans with nowadays, Danny.
Yeah, big shout out to them. It's been refreshing coming back to Ohio and seeing the reception that I've gotten from the people around me. They act like it was like yesterday. It was so long ago that I was here. It was like 13 years ago. But they're like, welcome back. We missed you. We loved you. I think they're just proud of what I've accomplished since I've been here. And they're happy that they're excited that I'm back. I got an amazing ovation. They showed a lot of love. I didn't see any videos of it, but when I checked in the game the other day, it was toward the end of the game, and I was playing against Toronto, ironically, another former team of mine. And, they gave me a huge ovation, a lot of love. Same in Philly. Philly showed a lot of love as well before the break when I got in the game. I don't think a lot of people thought they'd see me on the court again or be able to play against that team or, anytime before the playoffs. So, a lot of them were surprised. The team showed a lot of love. All my ex-teammates, they, showed a lot of Toronto, same way. And, just said how proud they were of me, things that I've been able to do and accomplish in such a short time, able to get back on the floor. And they all just welcomed me back with open arms and said the fans did the same. It was just amazing love, being on the floor and sharing the court with those guys.
Yeah, I wanted to go over a Doc Rivers quote with you, but I can't find the quote that he said about you. It's a pretty good quote. I'm so mad. I spent too much time looking for it.
Why it's so hard to find it? Because he's got so many bad quotes. Well, not bad quotes, but quotes that are.
Every time you search Doc Rivers on Twitter, it's a lot of negativity for sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, obviously the fans are negative light toward him, but him joking and messing around with me, how old I am, how I can't dunk the ball, or how I'm compared to him and I walk like him. So Doc, very rarely his compliments are very different type of compliments. So it's hard to find the good ones in there, but he had some really great things to say, showed a lot of love. Got a chance to say hello to him, and we said rehab together in the same facility. Gave him a big hug, saying him, the coaching staff, showed them some love, missed those guys. They were great. They, had some really great things to say about me. And when they spoke to the media, so too bad we can't find it, but I know one day it'll pop up somewhere one day. But it's going to be hard to find because so many things on top of those good compliments.
He basically likened your return to somebody like a Tiger Woods in golf. Like Tiger has come back again, even though he could obviously retire, and obviously he's going through a myriad of injuries, but he loves the game of golf, so he's back in business again. And so Doc was kind of comparing Tiger in that sense to you, because you didn't have to fight to come back like you did, but you did. I thought it was a pretty good quote, but I can't find the actual quote. So,
well, either way, man, I appreciate Doc for the love. We appreciate the whole coach staff, all my teammates, and all the people that have got me to this point. All the people that my PTs that have got me. Mike Rongrati, Memphis did an amazing job. Myers Institute of Sport, my guy Sean John, and now I'm in Cleveland. But everybody's taken a part and shown a lot of love and getting me to where I am today. So, thank you all for embracing me.
Actually, can we talk about Philadelphia for a moment here? Because you're getting close. You guys, Cavaliers, number 4 seed, Sixers are the number 3 seed, and there is a world where maybe you guys eclipse Philadelphia for the 4 seed, particularly because of how difficult the Sixers schedule was. And I don't know where you were, but I was watching that game where Jason Tatum hit the game-winning shot to beat the Sixers. And it made me think, and I know it's going to get loud. It's going to get really loud in Philadelphia over the next couple of months. One, because the city of Philadelphia has experienced so much heartbreak over the past year. They got the Philadelphia Phillies all the way to the World Series. They lost. Got the Philadelphia Eagles all the way to the Super Bowl. They lost. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Philadelphia Union, the MLS team, made it all the way to the finals and lost. And I think they're due for another heartbreak with the Sixers, mainly because they're going to have to play the Bucks or the Celtics in the second round.
Yeah.
Not just in the first round, and not just in the conference finals. You're going to have to play one of those teams more than likely in the second round if you're the Philadelphia 76ers. And I don't think that's going to be good for them. One, with James Harden being a free agent this offseason. And, you know how this NBA thing goes. Eventually, stars get frustrated and the rumblings will get loud about maybe Joel Embiid wanting a change of scenery. With that being said, do you think it will be fair to judge the Sixers on making it to the conference final or not? I mean, I believe the Celtics and the Bucks are just so talented and well coached and experienced that, like, we've talked about this a multitude of times. Expectations and then realistic expectations. Like, everybody expects to win the title. Like, if you have Joel Embiid, you should expect to win a title because he's that talented. At the same time, if I'm being realistic, if they were competitive in the second round versus the Bucks or the Celtics,
They took them to 6 games.
Sounds
7
about
games?
sounds about right. You know,
Okay.
like it sounds about right. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd agree. If they took them to 6, 7 games, but if they lost, swept or 4-1, I don't think that's acceptable. Because the team is good enough, and I think fans' expectations and the organization's expectation is we spent all this money to get all these guys. You know, we should get at least to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now it's a bit tricky and it's a bit unfortunate of how it's set up. Because
exactly.
You shouldn't have to see those teams if you're a number 3 seed. To see them in the second round kind of sucks. So we don't know if that they may change up their rotations or how they play or how they win games in order to get a 4 seed. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how they're going to do it to try to, I guess.
You still get the 1 seed if you're the 4 seed. Like there's no dodging the smoke. Yeah, there's no way around it. You're getting them.
So, well, I said the only way that happens is if like one of us jumps ahead and gets the 2 seed. You know, they can win some games to get a 2 seed. Maybe I don't know if they can catch the 2 seed, but that.
But even if you're the 2, you got to play. I mean, even if you're the 2, you got to play there's no. I mean,
you get the 2. You don't have
to
play them. You can avoid.
No, you'll play the 3 seed.
When you play 2-7. And then you play 3? You play 3-6 or 30?
When you play the winner of 3-6, yeah. So there's no way they're not playing unless something crazy happens. They're gonna play the Bucks or the Celtics.
Unless we catch it, we have to both.
In the second round,
we have to have the Bucks or somebody drop to 4. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's very unlikely, and it's just gonna be a very interesting case study on what happens after that. Will there be an overreaction? Will there be fatigue? Like, I guess we'll never be able to get over this hump in the Embiid era. Will James Harden say, well, I gave this thing a whirl, I gave taking a haircut a chance.
A year and a half.
I can go back. I can go back to Houston. I don't know what's going to happen, but it is going to be the most interesting case study or interesting thing to follow for me this postseason, because the expectations versus realistic expectations. I think they're 2 different things here, and they're going to come to a head come playoff time. Should be fun to watch.
It's not for just them though. That's for a lot of teams, man. A lot of teams, they have the rosters, they have they've spent the money on the cap, and they're like, look, we got to at least make it to the 3rd round. And if you're not, that's a bad season for a lot of teams out there that are structured a certain way. Even so, you look at in the West, look at Dallas, Memphis, Denver, any of those teams, Clippers. There's a lot of teams. If they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, it is a bad season.
And that's crazy but if you're being realistic, that's not fair.
It's not fair. But it's like 8 of those teams, even the Lakers, if they're in the playoffs, if they don't make it to past the second round, they're like, oh, that was a really bad season. No, it wasn't a waste of a season. Yeah, there's only one team over there that's like, if they make it out of the first round, we had a good season. That's Sacramento. Any other team over there?
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. You're right. It's not going to be good enough. Oh, I think that's what's going to make it so captivating. Like what? Like what's going to so much is on the line, and you're expecting so much of a team that you really shouldn't be expecting that much of. Oh. Good stuff on the way, man. Yeah. Good stuff on the way. Just fast forward me to the playoffs, man.
20 more games, bro. 20 more games, and we're right there.
Yeah. All right. Now that's officially it. Got to get up out of here. We'll talk about this next time you come on the show. We'll have to talk about your teammate Donovan Mitchell. He's making a lot of noise about him today in a potential matchup with the Knicks.
Yeah. And before we go, you said any last words before we go?
Yep.
Have to give our flowers to Damian Lillard, man. That guy's been really hooping at another level. His last 12, 13 games, unbelievable. 71 points in a regular regulation game. Obviously, Donovan did it too. Not taking anything away. He did overtime game. Still amazing. Hard to score 71 points. But have 41 at halftime, 71 for the game. Did it efficiently too. I wouldn't say it was a close game, but it was close enough game. I think Donovan's was really exciting as well because that was a close game, went to overtime, and they got the win. But 2 guys that score 70 points in a season is unbelievable. And, a lot of people sweeping on the rug what Dame does. The guy needs to get more credit where credit is due, and we need to give him more flowers while we have him, because we're only going to have him for a couple more years at his peak. So big shout out to them. Great basketball being played. Hopefully we see some more to come. Looking forward to the playoffs. We got 20 games left. Hopefully you'll see some more of Danny Green on the court. We'll see. We don't know yet. Getting more acclimated still. Figuring it out. But, yeah, man. Read, rate, subscribe, review.
Yes, indeed. And before this season of NBA basketball is over, you and I are going to have to do a replica of Dame Lillard's freestyle on the plane.
Bet.
You know? I don't know. We have to. There has
bars.
to be a stipulation.
Okay.
There has to be a stipulation as to why we're doing it. But I feel like it's not like it wasn't off the dome, so we could write a little lyric here.
100%.
Make it happen.
We get a snowstorm stuck in the hotel type pod. You know what I'm saying? Stuck in the
yeah,
studio pod.
Yeah. I need a hot 16. Hot 16.
I need 12. I don't know about 16, son. 16 is a lot.
All right, y'all. See y'all next time.